Hey guys, Lineage Devotee here again, playing my Zogwort Swarm here. So I've got a couple of Snotling attacks, a few 2-cost fighters. I'm pretty happy with that as a starting hand. Our first 4 planets have green icons, so that makes a bit of a rush potentially possible. And then the next 3, so planet 3, 4 and 5 have blue icons. So it could be an interesting game. I'm playing against Stefan, T-Mind, with his Baharroth, which he knocked me out of the Black Crusade with his Baharroth, my Vacheleur. I made it to the top cut, but then he got me out of the way. So he's really got some good moves with Baharroth. This is going to be tricky. So, I'm thinking how to begin. I've got the initiative, and I'm looking through my various options, and I decide I'm going to go with the Enraged Orc, which is 2 cost, 1 command, 0 attack, 5 hit points, but it has brutal. So my thought is, if he does try to compete there with a Warlock Destructor or anything like that, I have the initiative, and hopefully that'll help me take a couple of hits on the Orc, but then swing back and crush whatever he's putting on there. I feel like it's a good first planet bully. And I'm hoping that he's going to spread a bit wider, try and get some command, and that I'll be able to finish him off, basically. So I'm looking to get that first planet, feeling pretty positive about it. Yeah. And he plays the Black Crusade card, Same Hand Seer. I nearly said Sam Man Seer, which is 2 cost. I believe it's a 2 attack, 2 hit point unit with 1 command icon. I didn't look closely at it there, but its ability is that it can trigger an action that steals a keyword off an enemy unit at the planet and take that keyword itself. So he completely neutralized my my Orc there, and then he nullified my Snotling attack, which would have also given me that first planet. So instantly I was like, oh, okay, nullify. He exhausts his Warlord, a unique Eldar unit, to cancel an event, which Snotling Attack is, which Snotling Attack was 2 cost to put out 4 Snotlings tokens amongst the planets, and I was going to use that to get that first planet anyway. I wanted to get that first planet in. So suddenly it's all fallen apart, and now I have to really think about what I'm doing. I've spent 4 resources to effectively absolutely no gain, and now I've spent my 6th resource on a Snakebite Thug, which has 1 command also, 3 attack, 4 hit points, but it takes a point of damage after it resolves its attacks. Because I was thinking the nullify was a turn, but obviously it's not a turn, it's a reaction to my turn. So it's actually Stefan's turn. So I'll pull that Snakebite Thug back, but it's probable that I'm going to have to play it after Stefan has a turn anyway. So the first planet is Baharroth, which is going to cause one of us to discard a card. That could be tough for me, because obviously playing a bit more of a swarm deck, I really need every card I can to be put out onto the table. None of them are individually that effective, but if I don't have a lot of them, that means I'm not actually doing as much as I possibly could. Then he plays a Shrieking Exarch, the just phenomenally powerful unit. So it's a 5 cost unit, but you also must discard 2 cards when you play it. I believe it has 2 command icons, 4 attack and 6 hit points, so it's quite tough. But then the ability allows it to do a point of damage and draw a card whenever an army unit is destroyed at the same planet as it. So it's really an impressive thing to have on that first planet. So he's forcing me away now. So I put out the scrap now, where I'm going to need some sort of a boost here. It's 1 command, 2 cost. I can't remember. I think it's 1 attack, 2 hit points. But it gives +2 resources at a red planet. So I've chucked that right down the line, where hopefully I'll get some resource bonus out of it. And at the moment, I don't know where I'm going to commit. I put it on Karnath, which is possibly not the best choice. Karnath is always a good planet to commit to, a good planet to go to. So possibly that means it's a bit of a target now for Baharroth to get there. Although Baharroth is exhausted, so I should have a chance to run away if I need it. Alright, so I am going to planet 3 to move something if I can. And he is going to planet 4. So I do get my resource bonus, which is nice. He gets planet 1, and because his warlord is exhausted, he doesn't actually get planet 4. So that nullify... Or at least, I don't think he does. Maybe he does. Oh no, he's doing his mobile. So now I'm going to have to retreat that scrap nab because I don't want to lose it. But I managed to get 2 cards and 4 resources, which is quite useful. That should be really helpful for me to try and put down a bit more oomph onto these planets and try and do some more damage to them. I'm just trying to think through what I do. I'm wondering if I suppressive fire one of the units so I can keep the enraged orc. Oh, it's a tough call. I'm finding it very difficult to decide. Yes, I decide I'm going to do it. I exhaust the enraged orc with the suppressive fire, which allows me to exhaust a non-warlord unit. And now the seer is going to be able to hit me, but then I'll be able to retreat, which I think is the most, what's the word, recovering the most, or protecting my investment the most. Yeah. So I take the hit from the seer. I add the damage. I've removed the damage. Why did I remove the damage? That's odd. Oh, right. I thought he was attacking me, but he was getting the brutal off me first. Now he's attacked me. There we go. And now I retreat with the enraged orc. And then I have to discard, and I lose an Evil Sun's Warbiker, which is a shame, but isn't too bad. And now we go into Planum, where my warlord is. I forgot to generate a Snotling token at Planum, but it doesn't really matter because I would be destroying it shortly. But wait. Hang on, I'm just clarifying the rules. Yeah, so the seer, when it took brutal, it actually kept brutal off until the end of the round. So I was thinking my enraged orc would be able to fight off Baharroth and let my scrap nabber live, but actually it won't be able to do anything. So instead I put it onto the first planet, the new first planet, which is going to be Ossus. What I could have done is I could have moved my scrap nabber over to another red planet, planet 4. I think that probably would have been a better idea, but that's alright. I swing for a point of damage on Baharroth and then retreat, and he can trigger Karnath. But I think having the scrap nabber on what would be planet 3 next round probably would have been a good idea. Planum, always a good trigger when you've got an elite on the board, so he's going to move the Shrieking Exarch up into a good position, I'm pretty sure. Karnath allowing him to trigger any other planet ability that he wanted. He's thinking it through. Not sure what he's thinking through. Maybe he has maybe he had to go and get a cup of tea or something. There we go. Targets the Shrieking Exarch, moves it to planet 1. Absolutely. And then all our HQs are back. Our warlords are back in our headquarters. We have nothing else to complete. No HQ actions. No HQ phase actions. So we've reached the end of the turn. Yep, no actions. There we go. And end turn. There we are. Alright, our new planet is... Which one is that one? Can't see it very clearly. Elwith, I believe. You gain a bonus card if you win the... Well, you search the top of your deck, 3 cards. Top 3 cards of your deck and get a bonus card if you win that battle. So I picked up a rickety war buggy, which is nice, and I picked up Iron Guard recruits, which is a bit of my command for this one, for this deck. He puts out a craft wheel gate. That's one of his sneaky pull the. It allows you to cost 1 resources. You exhaust it, and it allows you to pull a unit back to your hand, which can be quite effective at creating some interesting situations. So at this point, I'm thinking I want to set up some battles, but I also just kind of want to spread out and get some command. I'm not going to be able to rush the green planets. I'm going to need to set up some people to stop him on that 3rd green planet. And then I'm going to need to stop him on the next green planet as well. So I'm basically assuming he's going to win his 2nd green icon, and I'm hoping to keep him off any more after that. So I put another Snakebite Thug out at planet 2. That's the Thug that I ended up taking back to my hand and not using, I think. So I've already explained what they can do. They're pretty hard hitters, but they do die a bit quickly. Things like Brutal Cunning, some of those sorts of damage moving effects are really good with Snakebite Thugs because they can build up their own damage and then you can throw it out and put it onto the enemy and heal up the Snakebites at the same time. And then he adds a Bonesinger Choir, 2 resources, limited, you can only play 1 limited card per turn, but it drops the cost of a drone or Eldar vehicle, or Eldar drone or Eldar vehicle by 2. So it's cost neutral on the first turn and then becomes quite helpful in the following turns. So he's done, so I put out an Evil Sun's Warbiker on Karnath. I want to make it unlikely that he wants to go to Karnath. I put out a Iron Guard recruits right down the end to get some command there, and I use my Snotling attack because I know he can't nullify, he's passed already. Oh no, he probably still can't nullify, he just can't take any actions. But I load up that first planet, and I know because tokens don't trigger the Shrieking Exarch, so having the Snotling attack means that they're kind of immune to making the Shrieking Exarch as potent as it can be, and I'm hoping that I can actually kill the Exarch between all of these units on Planet 1. And I'm going to Planet 1 myself to try and help that along, which is a bit of a risk. I'm going to take a bit of a hit. So I put the Evil Sun's Warbikers on Karnath because they're a 2 cost, 1 command, 2 attack, 2 hit point unit, and they gain +2 attack if a Warlord is at that planet. So if Baharroth goes there, and I have any sort of shield, I'm going to be able to hit him for 4 with the Warbikers, which is pretty rough, pretty tough. The Iron Guards recruits are 2 cost, 2 command, 1 attack, 2 hit point. They're just in the deck to provide 2 command icons, which actually, in this case, I didn't really need, but they're the cheaper of the 2 units that I would have had to put out on command down the line there. So at the moment, having committed to Planet 1 myself, I am winning command on 4 out of 5 planets. That's, completely ignoring what he does. But that means that the best he can do is 1 planet. Yeah, 1 planet, and he might knock me down to 3 out of 5. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to get a lot of things to work on, options to help me deal with his Eldar units. He's down to 1 resource and 4 cards. He's actually in a better position than me in that sense, but I've got all that income coming, so we'll see if that is able to help me out. I go to Planet 1, he goes to Planet 2, so I'm feeling confident that Planet 1's going to be good. I add a Snotling token because I've committed to Planet 1, and then I get my 3 planets worth of command, although I don't get to trigger my Scrap Nabber's extra resources because he's not at a red planet. Okay, Squig Bombing's going to be really useful. Launch the Snots, +5 attack on that first planet is going to be huge. I think that's going to be absolutely one of the first things I'm going to need to do. Squig Bombing on... Trying to decide whether Craftwheel Gate or Bonesinger Choir is the better hit for the Squig Bombing. Probably the Bonesinger Choir. Although Craftwheel Gate is immensely useful. So let's see. He's probably going to mobile over to Planet 1. then his Shrieking Exarch will have initiative and be able to hit me first and do a bit of extra damage, but I still think I'll be able to do a massive hit with my Snotlings, which is going to be good. Okay, he hasn't moved, so I'm assuming he's not coming. And I'm going to take the gate. So I've decided to go for the Craftwheel Gate there because I don't want him to be able to pull the Exarch out and put it back down healed next turn. I mean, I know it's very expensive and you lose cards and stuff, but I decided I didn't want to risk him being able to get that Exarch back. Now obviously he's probably got Gift of Isha as well as an option, so if I kill it he can bring it back that way, which is also very frustrating, but best I can do. Alright. Straight away. Ooh. He uses the Gift of Isha, which allows him to take the top Eldar unit from his discard pile and put it into play at a planet, and it goes away at the end of the combat phase. But he gets out a Fire Prism, which is a 6-cost elite vehicle. It is 2 Commander Hammers, I think, 3 attack, ranged. I think it's got like 6 hit points. It's definitely ranged, but after it destroys a unit, it is allowed to exhaust another unit. So he's used that to take out my Rickety War Buggy, which he shouldn't have been able to do because of the initiative. No, I had initiative, so that's fine. And then he and then he used that to exhaust the enraged Orc, and then because a army unit was destroyed, the Exarch pinged a Snotling and drew him a card. So that was quite nasty. I'm not so sure I'm going to win the battle anymore. So I'm declared an attacker, and I generate a Snotlings token. Then I use Launch the Snots to increase my attack by the amount of Snotling tokens at the planet. And so my one attack gets +5, and I hit the Exarch for 6. And he shields with a Cry of the Wind, which is a signature event. He just shields one of those because it has 6 hit points, so that keeps it alive, which is, you know, quite reasonable. I can see why you would do that. So the Exarch is still alive. One more ping and one more point of damage and it'll die. But then that Fire Prism, 7 hit points. I think that was 3 command icons even. I'm thinking at this point that I will actually just retreat, allow him to have his second green planet, which is tough, but I might need to do it, because the Gift of Isha will just let the Fire Prism die. It'll just go away. That's probably what I'm going to do, or at least that's what I would do now, rewatching the game. I don't know what I did. This game was quite a while ago. And he swings with the Exarch against the Scrapnapper, which was already exhausted, so he doesn't save himself from any other damage coming in. However, it means he gets to draw a card, and it means he gets to add a point of damage to any unit. So he's put that on the Snake-like Thug. So you can. This is the interesting thing about the Exarch. It can put damage anywhere on the board, which makes it quite insane. Alright, so the Exarch is dead. He's got no more resources for a Gift of Isha, so that's promising for me. He just puts the 4 damage onto the Prism, and he lets it die. I'm assuming he sees oh, he's feeling pretty out of it. I think we continue playing. I don't think we call it here. He took 4 damage on that. See, he would have done 3 damage back, but I would have done 2 with the enraged Orc. See, this is frustrating because I'm not sure. Like, I should have more damage on my Warlord potentially. So I don't know if the game state's actually where it should be. Okay. So all my snotlings are gone, and I go back down, but we've both got one green planet, and so there's a long way to go in the game. So he swings on the thug, which means it's going to kill itself because I have to attack, I can't just run away, but I'm going to try and kill off that Samhain Seer. 3 attack, 2 hit points, so he doesn't have a 2 shield, and then the snakebite kills itself. And then he wins Planum, but he's got nothing he can move. So I've got a couple of things on planets. I've got an enraged orc with my warlord who's fully hail. We've both got one green planet, so he's got 5 cards, I've got 2, so he's got a bonus on me there. And my initiative. So what do we got here? I'm going to push on planet 1. Farron is our new final planet. So the Bone Singer Choir, solid, puts out a Wild Rider Viper, which has 2 command icons, so he's beating my command on Karnath, he's covered me, but it's also mobile, so it can move to either of the adjacent planets, and also it follows other units that move. So if I move something, or if he moves something, it can bounce along down the line quite well. But he used most of his resources. Now I put Crush Face onto planet 1. He reduces the cost of all other orcs you deploy to the planet by 1, so I was able to put the shooter mob down for free. And I'm hoping that I'll win Planum and then be able to move Crush Face to the next planet and put down even more orcs onto that planet. I've got my 3 shield card in hand, so I should be able to keep Crush Face alive. I'm just hoping that I'll be able to win that first planet. He goes to planet 4 to stop my command, but I go to planet 2 to hopefully set up planet 2. So I get 2 planets worth of command, as does he. 1 command on those planets. Some interesting choices here. I think I get, is that an Outflankum I think I've got, which is quite nice. Okay. So he's got his mobile ability. He's thinking about mobile on these 2 units to move them from different planets. And he gets Baharroth to Karnath and sticks with it there. Alright, so we go to battle at Planum. He's got nothing available to him, so I just move Crush Face over to planet 2. And my shoot 'em up goes back to HQ, and I've won Planum. So I'm on 2 green and 1 blue. So the next planet wins me on greens, and otherwise I'm going to need planet 2 and planet 3 to win off blue. So it's still a long way to go. I decide not to trigger planet 2. I missed what planet I'm actually at. Iridial? I think it's Iridial. But I didn't want to heal. So Iridial would heal a unit, but I don't want to heal my enraged orc. I want to keep a couple of points of damage so he can still swing and do some damage. I'm happy with him being a 2-3 effectively rather than a 0-5. The Wild Rider Viper with its massive 5 attack just knocks down the war bikers just really, really easily. And then he's got Karnath, he's triggering Karnath, so he can either heal, he can search the top 3 cards and choose a card off his deck, or he can route one of my units, send them back to HQ, which I think is probably the best call. Actually get Crush Face off planet 1, and so I don't have the economy on planet 1 with my units. But we'll see what he chooses. Targets Karnath, and then targets... Ooh. He thought he had a decision. Farron and Crush Face. Yep. Best call. Absolutely. Okay, so we're all back into our headquarters. No actions for the HQ phase, and so we end the turn. Alright, ammo depot, not really great now. I mean, it's still useful, but right now isn't ideal. So it's a support that costs 1, and it allows me to draw a card when I have 3 or fewer cards in hand. So it's really good to have early on when I'm emptying out as many units as I can onto the battlefield. But it's alright later on because it means I can use a lot of shields and then maybe get another shield. Okay, but T-Mind is going to go first, so wait and see what he's got available to him. So I've got a few 2-cost fighters. I've got my signature unit, which is 3 cost, but is pretty good. I've got a couple of shields. I'm thinking about the ammo depot. If I want to use it, when do I want to use it? And I'm thinking I probably want to put as much as I can onto that first planet and see what I can do. He's got a Viper on planet 2, which is going to be available to him on planet 1. He's got a Bone Singer Choir, so he's got vehicles and drones that are going to be very likely to turn up on planet 1. If I can't win this planet 1, then he's going to have 2 green as well, but that's useless. 1 blue and 1 red, so we'll both be just in long game mode. So I really want to try and win it here if I can. Here comes a drone or a vehicle. What's it going to be? Another Fire Prism. Really solid. So he's going to be able to kill something and then exhaust something else. It's a solid unit, that Fire Prism. So he's only got 2 resources left. And he puts something into Deep Strike, into Reserve. It's curious to see what he's got there. So I'm putting out as many units as I can. I don't have that many, but do what I'm able to. An ammo depot, and I get another card, and it's going to be useless. It's not a shield, so it's basically nothing. Alright, going to planet 1. Yeah, we're all good. I'm going to 1. He's going to 1, I'm sure. Nope, he's going to 2. Oh, of course, because he's mobile. That's why. So I get those 2, and I get a Snotling come along with Zogwort. Oh, I do manage to win 2 command, which is nice. 2 command planet battle struggles, whatever they're called. Goth Boys would have been really good now. They're a very cheap fighter unit. I've got another Outflank 'em, but I can only afford to play 1 of them. But I've got some shields, which is good. So I've got a couple of shields, and an Outflank 'em will let me get an extra swing in if I possibly can. And his card in reserve turns out to be a Scorpion Striker. So it's a 4 cost normally, but with Deep Strike it only costs 3, all up, 1 in the deploy phase, 2 in the combat phase. It's a 3/3 with 1 command icon, and when it Deep Strikes out of reserve, it exhausts exhausts an army unit. So with the Fire Prism killing something and exhausting something else, he's going to be in a really, really good position here. This is going to be tough for me. Okay. So his ranged goes first. And I feel like he might go for the shooter mob. Yeah, he wanted to guarantee the kill, but I've got my 3 shielders, so I'm going to stop him being able to do that. Yeah, oh come on, yeah. Yeah, not much else I can say there. So he's done, but now it's his swing first. Probably going to go for the Warbikers. There we go. With the Viper, 5 attack on the Warbikers kills them really, really quickly. And now I'm trying to think what's the best things for me to attack. I decided to go with Zogwort first, which is probably not the best idea. I probably should have done the... or maybe I'm thinking of doing an Outflank 'em. So he shields the Scorpion Striker, and now I play an Outflank 'em. There we go. And I'm going to go for Baharroth this time. I think I was going to go for the Scorpion Striker to try and finish it off, but seeing as he's shielded, there was no point in doing that again. So I managed to get 1 point onto Baharroth. and he decides to swing with the Scorpion at my Snakebite Thug, which will basically mean it'll kill itself if I attack with it. But I do have one shield left, so I could use that on the Thug at that point. I take the full 3 points of damage for now. Okay. No attacks. No actions. I'll hit with a Snotling. I'm hoping, because I need to drive off the Warlord, I possibly should be going after one of the elites, because they can hit harder. But actually I don't mind anything above 2 attack. It's kind of wasted. I need to just get rid of things. At this point I'm not sure I can win this, so if I can bloody Baharroth, then I've got a potential of being able to assassinate him, or at least limit the sort of game he's able to play. Baharroth going for an easy kill. I don't have 2 shields, so I'm going to have to let it die if I get round to it. Yep, there we go. Shoot a mob, shoot a mob's gone. One more Snotling. Still going for Baharroth, I'm assuming I'm going to go. Yep, still going for Baharroth. And he decides to take the damage. Right, all done, and this is looking difficult. He's going to stay, and so am I. First things first, he managed to take out my Thug, which allows him to exhaust something else. Yeah, I was jumping the gun, but yeah. And, see, now I've decided to change my focus. This is one of the things in Conquest that you really shouldn't do. You should basically try and just kill something. Spreading lots of damage out doesn't tend to do a lot. I'm saying that I've got no more. I'm not going to say done anymore, because I have nothing. So if there's no more actions, just go. Just go. Okay. So I have to decide if I'm going to allow Zogwort to be bloodied. Yeah. So he's swinging at Zogwort. Big hit. And if I swing, I'm basically going to let Zogwort get bloodied. I don't know if I want to do that. I decide I do, but I've split my focus. If I'd have focused on hitting the Viper already, I possibly would have killed it by now. So this is poor damage control, damage assignment on my behalf here. He swings with Baharroth to take out a token. It's fair. I'm going to swing with a token, or probably on the Viper again. Yep, onto the Viper. I'm thinking he's probably going to kill Crushface, or possibly the Enraged Orc. Either, they're both kind of effectively the same right now. So I probably will want to use one of my shields at this point. He might try and bloody me. He might go for the bloody. Yep, there we go. Bloodied. Can't use a shield, it's not enough. Now really, I should have been playing much more defensively here and realised he was going to win. And when I realised he was going to win, I should have backed off and thought about doing things differently. but I decided I wanted to just go rah. Using a shield again here to keep it alive. That's literally what I was waiting for a lot of the time there, I think, is that I really wanted to be able to get his brutal powered up and go kablam. I probably should have gone for the moral victory and tried to hit Baharroth there, but still, that's alright. Caused some damage. Managed to kill off the Viper finally. He manages to kill off Crushface. The Scorpion. I am now going for the moral victory here. Okay. Yeah, there's just too many things. He doesn't want to risk Baharroth, so he gets out. And that's part of why putting the damage onto the Warlord is a bad idea, because the Warlord can run away. And it exhausts the Snotling, and then hits it, and yeah. And then he gets to heal up the Warlord, because we were fighting at Iridial, which I always forget that I'm fighting at Iridial. Never put damage on the Warlord there. He can run away and then potentially heal him. I absolutely should have been trying to kill off all the other units first. My thought was I wanted to bloody Baharroth for the longer game, but really, I really should have focused on the Viper, then focused on the Prism or the Scorpion. Yeah, just poor planning there. And apparently part of the problem was that I thought that this was the last planet and that he wins, because now I'm readying to go. So actually I should have kept fighting, and I should have played a longer game, and I really should pay attention to how many icons my opponent has. So that's me conceding, basically, and I hope you enjoyed that, and I should play better next time. See you later.